Welcome to Star Citizen and the Gatac SYULEN. On the first day of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, Gatac presented a new flight-ready ship, the Gatac SYULEN. And this scary alien encounter has it in itself, because the SYULEN has some exciting features that have never been in Star Citizen. Because this alien ship is aligned vertically. That means we have to rethink some things in terms of control, but we really have an outstanding optics. And with the SYULEN, we are in the area of a Titan Avenger, Nomad or other starter ships in this area. But beware, with the first release, the values are still to be enjoyed with caution, as some balancing is too expected. But the SYULEN does very well in the field of starter ships. For one crewman, it brings everything you need, also for longer excursions. Only the vertical optics are still a matter of getting used to, because we find 3 different levels in this small ship, which all actually only have room to turn around and not really to run. And so in the vertical mode, we find an entry area on the 3 decks, with access to some components and a dedicated weapons rack. In the middle area, a place to stay with a bathroom, a bed and a small table, as well in the upper area, the cockpit with additional components. And the maneuverability of the SYULEN is outstanding here, with 24 thrust nozzles being an announcement for a starter ship. The firepower is at the level of, for example, a Nomad with 3 size 3 hardpoints. But the rocket armament with 12 size 2 is definitely attractive. Only in terms of cargo, we have 2 SCU per 3 cargo pods, so a total of 6 SCU cargo capacity without the possibility of bringing a vehicle or the like. But the interior also offers the option of completing boxed missions. And the pricing is moderate compared to other starter ships. For the Warbond version, it is $65 and for the store credit version $70. And the cheapest upgrade, for example, is from a Reliant core, which is always available and for $5. And here we are mainly in comparison with a Titan Avenger or even a consolidated Outland Nomad in the entry-level area. The famous alien control has not become to beer here. And right after taking first place, we notice a clear difference compared to all previous available spaceships in Star Citizen. Because to take off we do not have to give a thrust upwards, but forwards after the cockpit is on top and also in flight direction. And we thus have to give a thrust backwards during the landing process. But more on that in a moment. Because first we take a detailed look at the exterior and thus various transformation options. Because with the departure of the landing gear, the complete structure of the SYULEN changes. And at minute 5:45 we return to the topic of landing. The first excursions with the SYULEN are great fun thanks to its nervous maneuverability and extremely powerful thrust. But we have to rethink the landing procedure considerably, as the controls are not yet designed for a vertical takeoff. For this, we currently recommend the outside view and the rotation of 90 degrees to the side. This allows us to maintain an overview when landing. But first, we have to rethink the controls, as we can now touch down with the thrust backwards and cannot cover all directions with the sideways movements. This is because in the vertical position we thrust forwards or backwards by thrusting upwards or downwards. But with a little practice, this works relatively quickly. However, this still takes some getting used to until we get the landing view over the HUD. Another specialty are the pillars in the external cargo, which is placed in cargo container boxes. Here, each of the 3 booms has 2 SCU space, so 6 SCU cargo capacity. In addition, this cargo is not particularly protected, but lies freely on the outside and is only attached via the Gravlev anchors. And in a minute we talk about the interior, starting with the cockpit. Has 2 different MFDs, one on the left and one on the right side, with the cockpit being fully glazed and offering an excellent view to the outside. We also find holographic controls for the quantum drive and co. And as soon as we leave the cockpit, we are driven downwards and then find ourselves in an upright position again. Here we have access to the pilot's seat in the upper cockpit area and can actually only turn around, whereby we find ship components on the right and left sides. And there is little room for more in the entire ship, and we only find the elevator in this area, which leads to the lower 2 levels. The middle level houses the living quarters, where we find the bedroom behind the door and the bed reminiscent of the Aurora. In the bathroom, we find a human toilet with a replaceable toilet roll, as well as a Xi'an variant, and also a shower. However, we missed a wash basin. Underneath the bed, we find another storage space option, although the ship's inventory also offers additional space and corresponds to the standard here. Our bed, which resembles a cave, is rather less cozy, and apart from a table with an interchangeable seat, there are no other features on the middle level either. The entrance area, or the lowest level, is more interesting. We gain access to the ship via the Gravlev staircase, which also locks the door when it's closed. No space is wasted in the SYULEN. In the lower area, we also have access to other components, a locker for spacesuits and a separate weapons compartment with space for 2 long weapons, 2 short weapons and 2 tools. But even in the lower area, we don't really have room to run. We can only turn from one side to the other. Absolutely efficient use of space. But what do you think of the SYULEN? Let us know what you think. And see you in the verse. And of course, also in the daily Twitch live streams for the entire Expo.